the new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
Said that Marvin Gaye did witness his father dressing in his mother's clothes at the age of 12.
You sure that wasn't OJ?
Come on.
It was in the OJ story on ESPN. Yeah, he found out his dad was San Francisco.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, his dad was like a cross-dresser.
And having a man, he came out and he said his dad.
You better look this shit up before you put that on the show, Jared. If we say some shit like that, we get canceled.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly.
I like how he just threw that word in there to make this shit. It's okay for him.
No,
allegedly.
Well, allegedly on ESPN, they said OJ was kind of upset at his father because he had came out the apartment or whatever with a robe on and be a man behind him. And he was pretty sure they was having butt sex.
Allegedly. All right, well, let's go ahead and start on that OJ note. Let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510 on the Instagram, the YouTube, and on Twitter at HorcruxHipster. Also, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/High Score 510. If you like the show, please share it, subscribe, rate, review, and tap in with us on our socials. Aside from that, we are here with...
This is AG3 coming at you faster than people changing Wikipedia articles, writing bullshit in Wikipedia articles.
Everyone loves a good comeback story, right? Seabiscuit, the Mighty Ducks, Robert Downey Jr., Rocky, yes.
Kim Kardashian.
Well,
in the video she gets cum on her back, I think.
That was great. That's back when this fool was actually a decent person. When he was still fat, he was a decent person. Then when he first lost the weight, just in time to be Star-Lord, it was like, okay, he still got his fat boy personality, nice guy, married to Anna Faris. Then all of a sudden, he just becomes a self-righteous dick. Leaves his wife and kid, who's a little, kid is a little sickly, don't say shit about his kid with Anna Faris. So, oh man, this woman, Catherine Schwarzenegger, get with her big-headed ass.
Come on.
She looked just like the Shrivers. Every Shriver. If you know Maria Shriver and all the Shriver family, they're like fucking sticks with big-ass heads.
Come on.
I think they designed matchsticks to look the way they look off the Shriver family.
Hopefully he realizes he's being a big douche.
Capital douche.
And we are here with...
everybody's favorite truck driver and lot lizard connoisseur, Captain P-Funk. Coming at you like pharmacists crushing medicine.
Is that what you're doing right now? You always
sound like you're in a tunnel, in like a tunnel with floodlights, and they're getting ready to bore a new hole in this tunnel.
It sounds like he working for Elon Musk's boring company, trying to bore a new hole through Vegas because the one in LA didn't work. That motherfucker, dude.
Man, this nigga here, Elon Musk, big old fraud, man. His trucks don't work either.
Come on. Well, here's your soundbite.
You have no privacy around here?
Emma, please. It's not what you think, Emma. We was just loaded.
you can go slick.
I'm the this black ass nigga around here, you please. You close the goddamn door.
Everything I did it because I love you. Don't you felt the same way about me?
Love you? Bitch, you got to be crazy.
Love the choreography.
I like how he got caught in bed with the chick and say can't have no privacy around here. Yeah, God.
That's my dad right there to a T, by the way.
That was Black Sister's Revenge, 1974.
Yeah.
You ever see that one, Patron?
Yeah, I'd seen part of it. I sent this to Jared in the group a long time ago.
It's another one he sent to me that I was probably too
all this stuff. Yeah, all this stuff I sent to you.
Pedro, hey Jared, we're gonna have to have a special episode where we do our tier rankings. You ever watch the tier rankings where it's S tier, A tier, and all that?
Mm-mm.
That all started with the video games. They all started with stuff like Super Smash Brothers, where people rank characters in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like who's S tier at the top. But for some reason, over the last like 7 years or so, it's blown up to people who rank everything from books, from certain authors to characters and shit. All of it, right?
Hold on, Aaron. Check your you coming in kind of like it's taking on like mainly your low frequency. I don't know. It just sounds low and kind of.
Which one should I be moving?
I don't know. Fine.
All right, how about now? How about now? Am I sounding clear? Am I sounding steady? What am I sounding?
That sounds a little clearer. Keep
Aaron, you sound like Greg Knights.
Come on.
All
right.
How about now, Jared? How about now?
That's a little better.
Maybe I need my headphones. Let me get my headphones.
Turn my headphones up. Turn them up.
Pedro's making all that goddamn sound when I was talking too. How I sound now? Because I got headphones in now. So I won't pick up all that shit Pedro was doing.
Yeah, I was moving the computer around too.
He was making a lot of sound when I was talking.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, that sounds a little better.
Yeah, so
yeah, maybe it's the noise cancellation is running your audio through.
Well, what I was saying about the tier list started with like I believe Smash Brothers and video games, and then it just expanded. People does books, Arthur's books, or certain Arthur like favorite books. Where it is.
Wait, what
like,
kind of Arthur? The one that's played by the little British dude, or the
no?
The
you know I can't
character?
pronounce that shit well. You know I can't pronounce that shit well. You know exactly what I mean. I can't pronounce that.
Where can I find your favorite? Where did you discover some of your favorite Arthurs, Aaron? What place did you go to go?
Susan B. Arthur.
Where did you go to read their books? Did you ever go to that place that has a lot of books?
Come on, man. You know I can't say that shit well. But anyway, we should do a tier list with Pedro's black exploitation films. We'll make a list so that way we don't, because there's too many black exploitation films. And we'll have Pedro rank them S tier, low tier. You never seen tier lists? Dude, look this shit up, tier list. Because you could do it on your computer. It's very nice. Whatever you look up, you can get all the thumbnails down and then you drag them. And people will do tons of videos on tier lists.
Okay.
Just like I might do a special tier list on you and Darius' best arguments.
And Darius is not here because he's the king of misunderstanding. All right. And my name is Jared, aka DJ Hart, with 2 T's for a double dose of that tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jart. And actually, this soundbite was meant for Darius this week, but here it goes.
We had a phenomenal day today. Negro League Museum and Arthur Bryant's barbecue.
In news this week, Glenn Kuiper, he decided, fuck it. I don't want to be part of this losing franchise anymore. And proceeded to say that he enjoyed his stay in Kansas City for the barbecue and the
Negro League Museum.
He has since been suspended. But what do you guys think about Glenn Kuiper and his inability to say the word Negro versus
Negro League Museum?
Maybe it was a different museum. Maybe he didn't go to the Negro League Museum. Did anybody ever think about that? I think maybe he went to the Negro League Museum, which is basically it's a museum of all time black bulls, right? And who does the best cock holding?
Maybe that could be a thing. That really could be a thing. I really enjoy how Dallas Braden is sitting there just like, yes, so tight, like tapping his heart. He's like, I love that place.
I love that place, man. Reminds me of my hipsterness and beer.
I feel like Dallas Braden, although he is from the 209 in Stockton, on the side of Stockton that he grew up on, he definitely threw that N-word around a little bit. He had no reaction to it. He's like, yep.
No, I think this was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Pedro.
It's a Freudian slip.
How many times do you think he said nigger?
Glenn Kuiper,
it flew out real quick.
Oh, well, he says nigger all the time. He's probably watching news. He's probably watching Fox News. He's watching Instagram. Maybe he watch a lot of the booty shake and the bad comedians on Instagram with all these new television. They're trying to make a lot of the Negroes try to make their own television shows on Reels and TikTok.
So it sounds like he's a connoisseur of all things niggerdom, and he would obviously go to the
Negro League Museum.
Yeah, he would be a prime candidate for it.
I'm pretty sure it was a Freudian slip, but
I'm sure if you go to the Negro League Museum, you'll see like that teacher that was the BBC slut wife for you. Shane Diesel's probably in there. I just think that he went to a different museum that he was sharing. He went to that barbecue. I mean, what do you eat after going to that Nigger League museum that has Shane Diesel and all them? And it's nothing but barbecue. Ain't nothing else to eat, right?
Yeah, I could see that being the case, I suppose.
I mean, I would too. Well, if I'm hanging out with people like, let's say I'm hanging out with her, Lisa Ann, and all the ones who just love them some brothers, like what else I'm eat afterwards? Hanging out with them at the Nigger League Museum. I'm gonna eat barbecue. So I don't think it's a 40 slip page. I think he just telling where he really went, and everybody else is tripping.
First of all, if he had Arthur Bryant barbecue, it's overrated. I had Arthur barbecue. That shit tastes like water. There's no flavor in it. Then it got 2 franchises. I was so happy. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna try this Arthur Bryant. I remember I stopped the truck at this big shopping center with Arthur Bryant in it on the way to Kansas City, drop off a load of broccoli out of Dallas, Texas. I was so happy. I was like, oh cool, this Arthur Bryant's big old parking space. Put this big ass truck right behind it. It was nothing to write home about at all. So maybe he felt like he needed to say niggers for lying about that damn barbecue.
That could be a reach, but I'll add it to the list of potential excuses for the man. But the A's have since suspended him until further review. I guess my question is, do you think that this is a fireable offense or non-fireable offense?
I don't know. I mean, they can handle it any way they want. That's their job. I think.
Yeah. I'm in tired of people.
I'm fine with just a suspension.
Yeah, I don't want people losing their job because they use the word nigger. I'm done with that.
Because then he gonna blame. He's like, I lost my job because of niggers.
Yeah. I don't want that.
And the problem is, I bet you not a single black person was watching this shit live.
Right.
It was Oakland A's versus Kansas City baseball game, middle of the fucking week early in the day. Nobody was watching that shit. Look at the stands behind them. Nobody was in the stands.
Glenn Kuiper he's the commentator for who? Or the A's?
The A's. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's trying to be like your boy out of Cincinnati.
I was hoping that he had low blood sugar, and that's why he had to slip up, like that Oklahoma announcer who blamed his diabetes and low blood sugar for being racist about a high school team full of black girls. I was like, oh, my God. But no such report has come out yet. I think that Glenn Kuiper deserves potentially another chance, but we got to get to the root of why it just came off his tongue so easily. It just seemed like he said that before. Like he's run that word through his head a lot.
Taking tests and stuff, learning how to say nigga.
He already has bad luck to begin with because he has to sit and watch the goddamn Oakland A's player. The suspension's really
That's what speculation was, that he was hoping just that they would just terminate his contract.
I didn't know he was the Oakland A's commentator. No, he's probably been around a lot of y'all say niggers around a lot of white folks anyway, so he just had a Freudian slip.
Niggers won't mind.
No, but it was the ER. There's a lot of people that say nigga, not he took the R and put it in a totally different part of the word.
In a row together. So Nigger League.
Negro League.
To get your ass kicked, you made it.
In news this week, according to Reuters, a 41-year-old Dutchman identified as Jonathan Mayer has been banned from donating semen to clinics after fathering between 500 and 600 children and could be fined basically $100,000 per infraction if he continues donating sperm. What do you guys think about that?
What's the laws behind it? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Is he donating sperm out of his garage? If he's donating sperm out of his garage, yeah. Is he using different names every time he goes?
But they get a tingling all in their nuts, where they nuts get bored.
I'm asking the question: is he using different names every time he goes to the sperm?
No, he is. He is very much just a consistent, constant donator in Netherlands. I guess that's Netherlands, right, Aaron?
Well,
Netherlands.
The European population.
There's no such country as Dutchland there.
The Deutschland.
Deutschland is how you say Germany.
Oh, it's confusing me.
Now, why are they complaining and giving this man any flack? Why the European population has been on a downturn? That's 3 decades.
They argue that Meyer's continued donations violated the right to a private life of his donor children. So is like becoming notorious, maybe that they're gonna be like, oh, you're of that dude. But also whose ability to form romantic relationships are hampered by fears of accidental incest and inbreeding because he got so many kids.
He ain't got that many damn. Obviously,
he had
over
over 500
sperm out there.
500.
500 kids.
That's the sperm bank fault, not his.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't.
They can take his shit out of the rotation. That's not his fault.
Not only that, that's the same thing that happens in the black community down south. They do it the regular way.
It says that he has continued to donate abroad, though. So the Danish sperm bank, Cryos, which operates internationally, he's still donating to there. But yeah, could you guys see yourself, you know what I'm saying, being the sperm donor father of 500 to 600 children? Wouldn't that be like beautiful? You like repopulating? You could have, you could have an entire conference of football teams, Aaron, college football teams.
Nope. See, I ain't one of these fathers. So I'm glad, we ain't got the fathers on the show anymore, especially in time for playoff fathers and NBA hand job time, because I ain't like one of these other fathers that be on this show or taking after the success of whatever the fuck your kid do, right? Not to say you don't have a part in it, but that's their success. Like when my niece plays college basketball, I ain't got shit to do with it. Yeah, I play hoop with her. Yeah, I ran practice with her. Whatever she did at college basketball is her on doing. Just because I play with her, they have shit to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Only way I'll be happy is if they pass some law where they don't get to know who their father donor is. That's the only way I'll be happy in that situation. I mean, what's wrong with the goddamn sperm banks?
I don't know. I think people also get to choose. Like they can choose, like, hey, I like this person's, physical attributes and specifics. So I think maybe he's just a regularly handsome guy that,
like they can't find other 6'10" dudes in the Netherlands. You know what? He might be a short motherfucker, Jared, because their height dropped for like the second time in the last like couple of census. They're still considered the tallest country in the world, but they're dropped, right? We're like, remember how I argue out here when you're like trying to tell me and you and Powell try to tell me how Steph Curry's just like a normal person, and I'm like, dude, he's 6'3". That shit ain't normal. Right. So the average height for a man in America is like 5'10" and a half or some shit, was considered average height or something. But the average height for the Netherlands was like 6'5" or 6'4". It finally dropped to like 6'3" or something. And it might be because of this motherfucker. He might be a short Netherlander.
And then maybe he's out there impregnating half the women, or
he's fucking it all
that
up.
Got kids on the Netherlands soccer team.
He fucking it all up, man. Those some fine ass women on that soccer team. He fucking it up though.
Well,
he fucking up. That's why they're getting so short now, because of his ass.
Well, in other news, the Brat and Jessica Judy Depart have chosen their sperm donor.
Oh, yeah.
And they chose a white man.
A lot of the men have thrown away any type of verification to prove that they dick belong to you.
The reason why was because the only black option, to quote, look like Jiminy Cricket.
I'm piloting the pussy. See, y'all got to be a pilot over the pussy, y'all. Y'all got to be the pussy police.
That was hilarious, dude. And once again, the problem of the sperm banks. That was hilarious. Problem of the sperm banks. Look, I tried to donate sperm in college. I didn't have a lot of money and shit. I tried to donate after college. Didn't have a lot of money and shit. Was like, hey, man, let me just donate some sperm. The fucking sperm bank rejected me twice. Twice. College graduate, no health issues back then. 6 feet tall, athletic build, things like that. Nothing. Rejected me twice. But some of these dudes, I have a friend. I'm just going to say this. He a lot shorter than me. Probably gets viewed a little different from how I viewed. He's donated hundreds of times. He's white. So it's kind of fucked up, man. I feel the brat. I ain't mad at him. I feel it. Like they said, they finally let a black dude in. He looked like Jiminy Cricket. I'm sure that they 100% correct. They're like, we can't have no kid looking like this. And that's the problem. The sperm banks are fucking racist. I wanted money. I didn't have anything to do not to donate. They could have took my fucking donation. And back then, it wasn't even big money they was giving. They was giving like $75 or some shit like that, right?
You think you can present a House bill in California that'll get you semen reparations money?
You know what? I need
turned
some
away.
Siemens reparation money. You're right. For every year that I didn't have a kid,
Every year they didn't let you donate at least 7 times, whatever.
7 times a year, multiply that times 75, and I want my reparation. And then and it has to be more because I want punitive damages. I don't want them to judging people by their race or anything else again.
Always trying to shut the white man down.
Come on.
Because here's the thing. They should take the donation, right? Take the donation and just be like, okay, you know what? This ain't going to be our high-end donation, right?
You like that lower shelf at the weed dispensary. He's like, we got this 6-month-old.
We got this
outdoor.
It's a little brown. It's a little brown. It was outdoors.
Yeah. Kind of looks like oregano off the bush.
This is right up my wheelhouse. Because I have a daughter-in-law or family, adopted family, that did the exact same thing.
You just explained that so shittily.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's like, you got a daughter. You got a daughter who's married to a woman. I mean, I don't know how you make that shit so awful.
Ain't nobody married. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
All right, it don't matter. His daughter has a partner that's a woman. Right? Now his daughter, I'm gonna explain this shit a little better than he just fucking tried to explain it. His daughter was married to a man, had 2 kids. She get in this relationship, a long time relationship with her partner, a woman, right? And they wanted to have a kid. So it wasn't the daughter that carried this child, it was the other lady, right?
Yes, it was the Studman.
Here's the thing. Now the other kid's daddy was like one of them high yellow brothers with light eyes.
Yeah, right? Basically a mixed island cat.
He was an island boy.
Island boy, yeah.
So he was a mixed island boy. He had light eyes and shit like that. So they wanted this baby to have light eyes too. So they know they can't get some sperm that look like Papa P, right?
Right.
So they had to go out and they got him a white dude to donate the sperm.
Which makes me feel worthless in the world.
Well, that's what the sperm bank did to me, Pedro.
The way they do black men, it's kind of disgusting. Yeah.
I was in a college town in shape.
Yeah.
Everything going for me.
We gotta work on this bill. We gotta
so-called good hair. So-called people thought I have nice hair. Full set of hair. Hey, Jared, they denied me twice, man.
Where these niggas rationing out dick all around the world.
You know what? You can fight for the next generation, so you can be like that.
Fuck the next generation.
You can be the lieutenant governor. You can be the dude, the lieutenant governor. North Carolina tells all the other young brothers that can donate now they got to pay reparations to you. It's like AG3 gets some of your money from that donation.
Nobody want to have no nigga kids, I guess. Really,
nobody want nigga.
I remember my wife was afraid that our child was going to turn out black as hell. I remember she said that. I said, I hope this baby ain't black as hell. I don't know why I let you nut up in me.
That'll make you slap somebody.
I was like, damn. We was at the movie theater. We went to go see who was that? I remember this.
Shaft.
No, with Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett.
Set it off.
Set it off. Set it off at Magic Johnson Theater. And this baby was in there, a girl. Some hood rats was in there. Brought a newborn baby in there. And she took the cover off that blanket. And the lady was dark skinned. She took the cover off that blanket. And that baby was so black. How the hell is a newborn that dark? I remember Joy was pregnant. She was like, oh, Lord, I please hope I don't have a baby like this. Why, fuck you? Oh, damn. Lord, I hope I don't have no baby like this. Jesus, please. I can understand it from that point, but it's still like, this black man, what is black man's sperm worth?
There's a difference between black man sperm and Pedro sperm because those are two distinct.
That's really You don't want to have no baby by me. The baby gonna come out like y'all said a couple of shows back, like a grown ass man.
Baby gonna have a Newport cigarette in his mouth and a Kango hat on when it comes out,
and a driver's license.
And a DVD of P.D. Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law, watching black exploitation film in the womb.
DVD VCR combo in the womb.
All right. Well, hopefully we get some reparations for AG3 and all our black men who are being subverted by the system. You want to know what systemic racism is?
I had a bill to pay.
Yeah.
Couldn't donate sperm to pay it.
Sounds like they were treading on you, Aaron. You know, not allowing you to exercise your fundamental
That's
human
why I
rights.
hope you guys get y'all reparations, man. Because
We ain't getting no reparations out here, Paige. They lost your fucking mind. That's Gavin Newsom just trying to look good so he could
get reelected.
What the fuck he doing, man? Fuck reparation. I need him to stop motherfucking stealing my catalog converter. That's the reparation. That's the only reparation I need.
You can go find out who you need to get some reparations from if you go see the museum that Glenn Copper went to.
Negro League Museum.
You probably find all. It's like, I need the reparations from all these motherfuckers stealing catalytic converters.
They probably got a catalog converter ring in that.
They got a hall of catalytic converter thieves.
The hall of catalog converter thieves.
In other news, the Godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, left Google to be able to speak freely against the fears of AI. Him and a growing concern base of, developers and other AI scientists are warning of the looming catastrophes ahead if we continue on the path. What do you guys think about the growing expansion of AI?
I'd like to be the first to tell you guys, we got a Carl Jr. in Buckeye, Arizona with AI technology in a drive-thru. I just read that on the news.
And what does that technology do in the drive-thru?
Okay, that technology gets your order wrong.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please?
Yeah, I just need a burger, man.
Would you like some fries with that?
Nah, I'm all right.
Are you sure? They cook to a crispy golden perfection.
Yeah, man, I'm sure, all right?
Perhaps a soda. You know we're doing salads now. A lot of people don't expect that from McDonald's. Chunky chicken salad.
Look, man, could you just give me my damn burger, all right?
So I'm not afraid of the one at Buckeye, Jared. I'll tell you that.
So that's like the low end AI that we got. I hope AI kind of stays in that like kind of comical realm of like, look how good this is, but it just keeps kind of fucking up. Because what they're speaking of is far greater existential threats that AI can lead to, or just in general, societal and social power threats that it can also induce beyond like the sci-fi, like it takes over everything and, you know, Skynet's us or some shit like that, or the Matrix type shit on us. AG3, what do you think of Jeffrey Hinton, the Godfather of AI, leaving Google so he could freely speak out?
He wasn't having a problem with it when he was cashing them checks. He had no problem with it when them checks came in on time. He was cashing them checks every 2 weeks. That was probably, I guarantee it, his checks was probably about every 2 weeks, probably about 40 to 30,000, or probably 50,000 after taxes were taken out. He didn't have no fucking problem then. He probably had no problem during the pandemic when he was working at home. Had no problem then. Now he got all the problems. After you built this shit that's fucking up, now you have a problem. Man, fuck you, man.
What about your boy Elon Musk saying that he wants to build a new AI model? He feels like he's late to the game. That is not woke and will allow him to say the N-word and other slurs.
That's fine. He can build it all he wants. Shit won't work. Half the shit he touched don't work. I mean, you know, I'm not one of these idiots that think he started Tesla, right? You know, there's a bunch of people out there that think Elon Musk started Tesla or designed. There's one person told me that Elon Musk developed the technology for the Prius. And I was like, man, Elon Musk was working at a fucking stupid ass boring company. And you see how many rockets he had? They talked about how many rockets of his to get one to finally go, how many exploded.
Yeah, and he's also killed a lot of monkeys in his Neuralink, which is it's bound to happen. But they're saying they're rushing shit, and it's like unnecessary deaths was happening.
It's unnecessary, man. So if Elon Musk build AI, it'll be worse than what Pedro experienced at the Carl's Jr. and Buckeye.
He wants to build the AI that can make it to the
Negro League Museum.
His won't even make it there. It wouldn't even. He would build AI. So it would say Negro League Museum, and the shit would probably say
his AI will come with high cholesterol and diabetes.
Exactly, dude. He's gonna have the first AI that will lose a foot.
He'll have the first AI that'll call 911 because it's suffering a heart attack.
God, if you listen, help!
Yeah, they even have the first AI that suffers from erectile dysfunction.
I'm impotent, man. Get away from me, bitch!
Can't even get up. I mean, like, man, we can't even get this hydraulic pump up. Elon Musk can't build shit, dude. He probably built an AI that would tell that all he'll do is just change Elon Musk's Wikipedia
That's AI is to make it the most glowing Wikipedia page ever about somebody.
Probably say like you change other people Wikipedia and say that Elon Musk invented the peanut or some shit like that.
Elon Musk ain't shit.
The only people that's worse than Elon Musk are all these trampy ass bitches that had kids with Elon Musk.
They're also part of the problem, but some of them might have had kids with him before he turned into the megalomaniac he is now.
Maybe. I mean, maybe they did it for a check. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, would I let Elon Musk give me a hand job at a sperm bank for a check? Probably.
These men are giving dick away.
The craziest things I was telling the sperm bank, I came with my own magazines back then.
Come on.
I knew I wasn't gonna like them.
Did you have
I had a backpack.
You have bushy tail and black tail?
I had my father's old magazines, dude, with the oil stain in it. Smelled like fucking motor oil. Father poor magazines smelled like motor oil. And they were in black and white. I couldn't believe that. Pops had the saddest porn collection I ever seen. That's a porn collection for a man that's getting a lot of pussy on the side. He didn't need one. I
don't need this collection.
He didn't need one. That looked like, you know what? His porn collection looked like he was holding a magazine for a friend in the 1960s.
He's probably holding it for one of your uncles. Right?
Probably was. Come on, because he sure is.
Because the uncles used to come over and they'd be in their garage when that Bacardi.
That nigga had the saddest porn magazine collection. It was 2 magazines. Yeah,
that's stupid.
That's a magazine collection for a nigga that's going out getting some.
Well, some of the reasons why they say it matters, there's a few main concerns that these AI experts, developers, researchers, and regulators said. And shout out to Axios for this article. Shout out to RCO2 for sending it. But there's the fear that there could be an increase in cyber attacks, and that was one of the things that Jeffrey Hinton went to is. You can't stop bad actors from using it for bad things, especially once the technology gets to a point that you can just like anybody can access it and then start using it for nefarious reasons. So they said cyber attacks could explode. AI, it's literally computer generated knowledge knows how to directly interface with itself to change code or potentially hack things is a big worry. So that's more like that Skynet type shit, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another thing they said was scams sharpen. It can start to auto-generate just basically a bunch of phishing scams that can, then be used to steal your information.
So it sounds like basically it's doing everything the shit that we put up with
already doing.
Yeah.
So it's basically going to do everything the Nigerians is doing.
This is like, man, the first two is like, man, we already got people. But this is where they say, I guess, the efficiency of it and the how it can sharpen to, start to learn different people, users with your, like, as it is able to integrate your data, it can know how to, basically scam you or be able to just hack into systems. The third, though, is where it starts to get really interesting, in my opinion, that we have to worry about. Disinformation detonates. So propaganda, articles being written by AI in this chat GPT that are, not even, actually sourced as and researched properly. It could be just like fake articles, but written as though it is a person that has a lived experience and has some kind of influence on people. There was actually this really interesting, an AI generated commercial going against Joe Biden that came out that the Republicans paid for. And they used the AI generated commercial to basically, to attack Biden. Here, I actually got it. Hold on, let me get it. I'll show it to you guys real quick.
Mm-hmm. Even though I saw it this morning.
I approve of this commercial.
This just in, we can now call the 2024 presidential race for Joe Biden.
My fellow Americans.
The weakest president.
This morning, an emboldened China invades Taiwan. Financial markets are in free fall as 500 regional banks have shuttered their doors.
Border agents were overrun by a surge of 80,000 illegals yesterday evening.
Officials closed the city of San Francisco this morning, citing the escalating crime and fentanyl crisis.
Who's in charge here? It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
All right, what do you guys think about that?
Man, it looked like a regular Republican commercial. I mean, I'm supposed to be shocked about that. The funny thing is the dude, when it showed San Francisco, and the dude that looked like he's supposed to be on fentanyl, that shit was hilarious.
It's like the city shut down because of crime and fentanyl. No, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen over there.
Yeah. No,
you know how much money they will crack down if they need to over there. They're going to be experimenting with police drones. So just know at a certain point, you start getting all you fentanyl users and crime people that would potentially shut the city down. They're going to start killing your ass with robot police officers. So anyways,
There was that criminal they showed with the tattoo on his face. Was that a Mexican?
No, that was a white. No. If that's fentanyl, they're gonna put in like a white trash white dude. That's what that was.
It's a white looking dude.
It's a white looking dude that looked meth out.
Here you go. You see him right there. Look, he got tattoos all over his face.
Tattoos all over his face and a cigarette in his mouth. And
he might be a little Mexican in there.
There's no Mexican in there.
No, that is a Mexican. Look at this forehead. Look at his forehead.
It says MS-13. It says MS-13.
Come on, they put MS. That dude did not look Mexican.
In sports news, PJ Tucker did something that hasn't been done since the 1954 and 55 season. PJ Tucker had 0 field goal attempts and 0 free throw attempts in 37 minutes played. The most played without a field goal attempt or a free throw attempt in a playoff game in the shot clock era. What do you guys think about that?
Wait a minute now. He had what happened?
He had 0 field goal attempts or free throw attempts in 37 minutes of playoff basketball.
He's done this before. I don't know why you made a big deal out of it earlier today, Jared. He may have some attempts, but he did this last year in Miami. Want to say he did it the year, I think he did it one of the bubble games.
So he's breaking his own records.
Yeah, basically like Draymond Green against the Lakers the other night. I mean, he's doing, he's an influencer. It's like Eric said, they shoot him. You shoot a guy at a corner so you negate the double team.
Yeah, and then the problem is when he's going for the offensive rebound, he just set up the double team.
Right. You got to have guys camping, and that's the lazy part about basketball right now. It's nobody, there's no motion because it's dribble. Watch out for the three-point shot. And the teams that know how to penetrate or get to the basket, as you can see, or get a shot in somewhere in the mid-range, they're the only teams left. All those guys that's using that AI offense.
So A is supposed to say AI.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Moore, artificial intelligence.
Where it's dribble, kick, shoot three. And basically PJ Tucker is a poster child of it in his 3-and-D tactics. So nobody's knowing how to play basketball. So he's doing exactly what a lot of other players are doing now. If they can't make a move to the basket or whatever, that's all they can do. They either can defend or shoot a three. Sad place we in, man. It's a sad place.
PJ Tucker is always just he's a character to me. I love how he gets in there, impacts the game without impacting the game in ways that he's 37, 38 years old, still in the league. Like he is what he is. He's what Dylan Brooks hopes he could turn into someday. That's what Dylan Brooks. You know what? Just ask PJ Tucker to come mentor you. Ask him to be your Udonis Haslem. You know what I'm saying? Ask him to be that old man who'll teach you how to be just an agitator that actually can play in the league for, you know what I'm saying, over a decade, because you might not make it there, my friend. But anyways, what are some of your takeaways so far from the playoffs? And what are you looking forward to? Or what are some takeaways? We've seen some coaches. Coach Budenholzer got fired. Nick Nurse was let go from Toronto. It looks like they're going to find spots to land at some point. But starting to see some of the fallout from the NBA playoffs. What are some takeaways and things that you think some teams that have been eliminated might need to do? Or what do you think are some teams that are right in a good spot? But also, what's going to happen in the rest of this playoffs?
Yeah, you asked about 15 questions.
And what do you think about James Harden going to Vegas?
You had about 15 goddamn questions, man.
When did James Harden go to Vegas?
Right before the series.
Yeah, it was before the series, though.
Before the series.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what players do.
He balled out the first game. Anyways, what is your takeaways from these series and the teams that go ahead.
Either we're sticking to. Let me just stick to teams that are still in it. Yeah,
teams
let's
that
just stick to teams
that are still in it.
You asked them about 5 questions, man. You asked about a million different things and then gonna get to sports and try to lump it into one fucking lump. No wonder why Darius is cussing you ass out today, Jared. You lump sports into one lump. We talked about AI and that stupid shit for a long time. You played a stupid ass video of Biggie that sounded like trash. I didn't know if it was AI, it sucked. If it was, I probably was Shine in jail. That's what it sounded like. shined and recording in jail and more than Biggie. If shit was trash, we talked about AI. You just kept trying to lead us on to talk more about AI. Went into shit about this and that, and then it and music and this, and then you're gonna lump sports into one goddamn big ass puddle.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, you got to do a better job bringing in sports than this.
I'm just trying to get my opportunity to make it to the
Negro League Museum.
All right, so what are you looking towards the rest of these playoffs, Aaron? What are you seeing?
You know what? I was hoping the series that I expected to end. The problem is when series are like expanding, like, all right, let's take, for example, the Philly versus Boston. Boston had a chance to put Philly and bring today, and they play like idiots. I see bad coaching is what I see. I see coaches, but I don't want to blame the coaches because when the league has great coaches who are great at like creating systems, calling plays, creating game plans, the fucking players don't listen, dude. They don't want them. What do they say? Oh, I want a coach that I want somebody that played in the league, even if he was on the bench, even if he was this and that. That's how I'm gonna respect them. The league, the players have gotten rid of the new players. The player empowerment movement has gotten rid of the coaches who, like I was telling Pedro earlier today, I miss people like Bill Fitch, Lenny Wilkins, who, even though he was a former player, Mike Fratello. These guys could coach, man. They were great coaches, and the players back in the day allowed people to coach them. Now these players, they want the guys who are former players, and we're not seeing the X's and O's. But that's why the playoffs, I'll be honest, they've been predictable. They've been a tad boring. Right, with a couple of games here and there, and that's exciting. Like we've seen coaches not call timeouts. Missoula had a chance to win the game before going to overtime. He didn't call timeout, left it in Jason Tatum's hands. He did some bullshit, held on the ball way too long. It ends up in who hands? The worst shooter on the court, Marcus Smart. Bricks the shot. We go to overtime. In overtime, once again, chance to win it. Boss had 15 seconds. They're down by 1, 15 seconds left. James Harden made a dope 3. Down by 1. They don't call timeout. 15 seconds left. They push it up. They run their normal set. Jason Tatum holds the ball way too long. Gets doubled, drives, gets doubled, kicks out. To who? Marcus Smart, the worst shooter on the court. Time runs out. They don't even get the shot at them off. Game over. These players don't want to be coached here. I'm seeing bad coaching take place in this playoffs. There's a lot of bad coaching, and it's not like the coaches out of it were good too. I mean, there's some good coaches, but it's just like when Kyrie and Kevin Durant went to New Jersey, right? Or Brooklyn, whatever the fuck they call it now, the Nets. And they kept saying, well, we really don't need a coach. These players really believe that. They really believe they don't need a coach, and they really don't take a lot of coaching nowadays, and it shows. The game shows. That's why these sets are fucking boring. That's why I go to college basketball to see players actually run different shit, to see players run off screen, to see teams actually run plays for people, to get certain people in certain positions. Yeah. Not just, I'm going to isolate and get to my spot. No, we could get you wide open to your spot. The days of coaching is gone, man.
The big surprise in the playoffs is, like you said, was Milwaukee. And the way that they lost, or the way, it had some of it had to do with injury. I believe if Giannis played all the games, Miami doesn't make it past. But there was an opportunity, there was a hole in that series where he did get hurt. And that was one of my Cutty quarter shoutouts of these stars just crashing the rim so hard, just being reckless going towards the rim. And then on the other side of it, I like to talk about Jimmy Butler, how he's just out there it shows you the strength of a man that wants to play basketball, the love of basketball, that does everything. His guy is going.
I agree.
Jump shots in the key. He's taking the big shots. He's defending. He just has the heart. If you have the heart to play it, and you have a little bit of talent, it takes you far. But if you have a lot of talent and you got the heart to play, you can be great. A lot of these guys I see, I can definitely see like they don't have the heart. They had the heart, and then they use a little bit of wisdom. We would have some great series, but we don't have that anymore because of the culture.
I think you're seeing this the fruits of the seeds that have been born out of what you could say the player empowerment movement to some degree, but also like what feeds that is like a lot of these, like whether it's AAU or whatever club teams that you're playing on, like the sports, these youth sports and these feeder systems are getting more and more money put into them. So a lot of these young dudes are starting to get more and more praise. Like they'll put in the hours and the time to, in the gym to improve their skills, but there's so much being invested in them and people, kind of coddling them. Even hearing about, student athletes in college, Aaron, I'm sure you had some interactions with that. A lot of these people are the best people in their little towns or in their, one of the best players always. And they get a lot of they get treated in some ways like royalty. And I think we're starting to see the fruits of that labor over the last 20, 30 years where players aren't having the heart for the game the same way maybe they had it 20, 30 years ago.
Gilbert Arenas, Patrick Beverly said it. Patrick Beverly just came out and said these players don't love this game no more.
Yeah, because they see them. They see the glitz, the glam. They see the money. They see the resources being invested in it, and the fact that they're kind of being told you're the best player. So they have a certain air of entitlement or belief, which can be beneficial in some ways, but also I do think it changes the mode and thought of why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? What am I getting out of this? And if your motives change. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Butler, we know his story was he had a tough upbringing, homeless, you know what I'm saying? So you saw he
kicked him out.
Yeah, you see that he's really hungry. But, there's other players who had rough upbringings too that, had to do it. But I think that we're starting to see more and more on a frequent basis players who just, they don't love the game the same way.
They're coddled. They're coddled all the way through AAU. They already had the money in.
Well, AAU is all the way now.
That's what I'm saying.
AAU is you play AAU till you go to college. Right.
That's what I'm saying. They're coddled and they're paid.
At 6 to college.
Yeah, they're coddled.
And here's the thing. Patrick Beverly said best. Half the players in the NBA don't love basketball. That's what he said. Half the players in the NBA don't love basketball.
Yeah. And then you see that way Jimmy Butler is treating fools under the basket in the post. You see that.
Yeah.
Well, he has more will and more strength and more want to than most of these fools. They don't want none of that action because they ain't from the streets. They from the AAU coddled system where they get to ride in electric Hummers and Teslas.
Yeah, and even in college they get coddled. They get some of the best. They get taken care of.
Well, now they can coddle their way by going to certain
you can see
schools.
The difference.
No, but even in my time in school, they got the best. They were getting some universities have less to give, but they were still giving the best materials that the university could afford, the best facilities the university could afford.
Yeah.
And they got priority on housing. They, if you were,
but that wasn't much. Yeah, I mean,
but it's one of those things
like Cal getting priority housing.
No, but I'm saying at other universities it can play a different.
Well, I mean, if you're going to Kentucky where they built a whole new dorm, but they put kids in there so that way it doesn't break any rules or laws.
There's other regular kids in there.
There's 12 regular kids to go with the 12 Kentucky basketball players,
and most of them are basketball managers or something, right?
You throw a couple managers in there, and then the rest are you do in fact there's a lottery for it, so it's people
who can tutor them and
well no it's just a lottery, probably some donors kids and things like that, but it's supposedly a lottery. To make it legal it has to be a lottery system, but they have a 24-hour chef, things like that. But that's SEC schools, right? That's schools like that. You're gonna Pac-12, they're not getting that much advantage, right? Other than just, now that's the reason why name, image, likeness was so important.
Yeah,
because
they do get catered meals during camp. They get you
get catered meals only during season.
Yeah, you get catered meals. You got whatever. You get good clothes. You got some nice athletic wear. As a college student, Aaron, you said you went to spend the whole trip.
I dressed better before I started working. I know that was a problem. I'll be honest. I dressed better before I started working with them because they give you all that gear and it's you got to practice every day. So you didn't want to wear your clothes and didn't have to change. So after a while, I just wore the fucking gear almost 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where I realized I wasn't even buying clothes anymore. So I mean, there's trust
That's extra
me,
money
I'm with you. They get coddled.
I don't know why you complain about not making $75 for some goddamn sperm donations if you got free clothes.
Dude, you know how much I had to sell? You know, I did some illegal shit and sold some of that shit back to Nike Town, to be honest. Untouched, unused. Because they give it to you fresh from Nike. It looks just like it would if it was in a store.
Yeah,
so
you swap and tag.
No, you didn't have to slap and tell. There was no allegedly. I did that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I lost my receipt, but I didn't want this.
Nope, didn't even have to say that. Didn't have to say that. It's still in the package because we get it from Nike, still in the packages. I'll just take the shit
bring it back, and they just
take it back, and they just scan it, and they get That was
tight.
back before the days when they'll still give you cash for shit. Or I would trade it in for other stuff I wanted, other gear, because you get tired of wearing the school gear all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing they give you. They ain't giving you like no fucking Jabot shirt. Luckily, Nike had a deal. They bought out LL Bean at one point.
Mhm.
So we did have these nice ass LL Bean bags.
Yeah.
But other than that, like you get tired of wearing the same shit, right?
Yeah.
Like after a while, that's not the spoiledness doesn't really happen. That's the first time you aren't spoiled, right? And that's my thing. A lot of players are skipping that and going to the G League. Like Bronny Jr. is about to go to USC, signed with USC officially yesterday, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, cool. He's about to have a college experience. A lot of other fools don't understand that. They don't. I mean, the college experience is when the spoiledness.
I heard this NIL is about to be like.
Well, NIL's kind of fucking that up a little bit.
You're like 5
right? Because they can afford some shit. Because back then, that is the one place where you got humbled until in a NIL, right? You go there, you have to be a college student. Yes, they feed you during the season, but that's only one fucking meal a day. And if you're living in the dorms, you're eating in a dormitory like every other, you eating shitty food like every other college student.
Yeah.
And sometimes that catered food was good and sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes there was a week where it was the same shit for a straight week. I swear to God, right? So there's sometimes where it's good and sometimes it's all bad.
No, but still, you ain't gotta use any of your swipes to get into the cafetorium to get your food. You can cater. That's always nice. But
I mean, it was like one meal, and it was after practice. And I'll be honest, sometimes players skipped it because it was just like, especially when they're in their apartments, because it was just like, man, I'm tired of eating this shit, or I don't feel like rushing, taking my shower and then rushing, because it wasn't like the catered meal was right there on the fucking court. You have to go to it too.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, it was up at the football stadium. So it's like, God damn, we got to go all the way up to the fucking football. So sometimes I skipped it a lot of times. Like, I don't feel.
You sound like an entitled nigga complaining about I don't feel like going.
Let me tell you,
free food.
there was days I skipped it. I was at home
Pedro.
eating fucking a Snicker and Doritos.
I get you.
It's not the same. I mean, yes, are they catered compared to some college students? Yes. Are they catered compared to the NBA? Fuck no, not even close.
Oh no, yeah, it's not the NBA by far not. But they're giving a lot. Another thing that I noticed though is a lot of pissing me off type of refereeing going on. Just the game flow being interrupted.
Now, why are you noticing this now when I've been bitching about this all season?
I've agreed.
Season.
I haven't watched all right. So for me, I don't really watch regular season basketball very much at all. Like I watch it like on the holidays when it's on. Put the NBA Christmas games on. We'll put that on. Or whatever.
Then why are you bitching now when I've been complaining about this all season?
Because now I'm having to deal with it and watch it and see it in playoff games where it's like, hey, like these are some of the best athletes in the world. These are some of the most talented, skilled practitioners of the great sport of basketball, except for Boogie Cousins playing in Puerto Rico, even though he's the third best center in the league. But more or less, like these are the best of the best, and we keep. It's it makes me feel like a Republican. There's too much oversight going on during a basketball game. There's too much government control. There's too much referee interference going on where you can't just, see the game go. So that's something that's like starting to like frustrate me a little bit. Let these guys play. Let these athletes and their different styles and different techniques play. Stop bailing motherfuckers out when they fall down because they initiate contact and then they fall over while knocking somebody else over in the process. I just don't get it. The game is slowed down. I want to see these guys up and down the court a little bit more. I would like to see like the two different styles be able to play. And I'm saying one style shouldn't be, that style gets fouls pretty much on will versus this other style doesn't get fouled on will. I'm talking about the Lakers and the Warriors in particular.
You got to drive the basket to get fouls. There, you can't shoot jumpers.
I'm not saying that the
Warriors. It's like the Sacramento Kings.
I'm not saying that the Warriors. What I'm saying is that the Warriors haven't deserved extra free throws. The Lakers are getting a shit ton of free throws for doing shit that is not fouls. That's all I'm saying.
What's not fouls?
If you run through a nigga chest and he's there and you fall over and he falls over, or if you have a subtle bump as you're moving and then you decide to put up a shot after that doesn't affect your shot and you miss it, but they wait to see if you make it and they're like, oh, well, he normally probably could make that, so we're gonna blow the whistle. It's like, no, sometimes it's incidental contact. Sometimes it's incidental contact, and you gotta stop calling all these bullshit fouls and fucking up the game flow.
Jared, if my black ass bumps you and you go into the rim, is that a foul?
Going to the rim, yeah.
Yeah, then guess what Draymond Green's been doing? Hacking.
No.
I gotta like
it wasn't even just Draymond.
They didn't call any. That's why they stopped playing. It was like,
hold on, y'all don't see this. I know I'm talking about Laker fans. Y'all ain't talking about the.
Yeah, you sounded worse than anybody else. You didn't watch a single regular season game. You just.
Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts is a segment we end the show where everyone gets a chance to rant, complain, or highlight something positive in the world. Cutty Corner Shoutouts. Cutty Corner Shoutouts.
It's time. We're burning now. God, if you let it in, hell. So cold and bleeding now. I'm in for this, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a
Aaron, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
I was watching the Philly Boston game today, the game that Boston totally blew. And James Harden balled out this playoff series, which he normally doesn't do during series. After the game, he balled out. One of the former Michigan State students who was paralyzed, he was part of that shooting when that guy came on campus and did a mass shooting at Michigan State. John Owl, he was at the game. He's paralyzed now. He's in a wheelchair. And after Harden hit the game-winning three-pointer, the crowd was all hype. And Harden took off his game-worn Adidas. And he said he was a special guest and gave him the shoes, right? I mean, I think it's a nice gesture that James Harden would give a guy who's paralyzed and in a wheelchair for the rest of his life a pair of game shoes. And I'm willing to bet that dude who's paralyzed and in a wheelchair the rest of his life will put more steps on those motherfucking shoes than lazy-ass, fat-ass James Harden ass. He will put more work with those shoes than James Harden. Because I subscribe to the Patrick Beverley saying when he said at least 50% of NBA players don't care about basketball. Right? He said they don't put in no work. They don't put in effort. He said they just skillful. Just like what Pedro said. All this has been added to my Cutty Corner shot I had written down. All of it's added to exactly what they said. When Pedro said Anthony Davis just skillful, not hard, skillful. And I agree. They're just skillful. We don't have a lot of players to heart. He says 50%. I think he said I'm being generous when he said 50. I'm with you. I wish you just went ahead and set the number higher than that. I wish he would have said names. I wish Patrick Beverley had the heart to say names. Do what Jimmy Butler did. He said names and said, get me the hell out of here because they don't care about playing. They don't want to work. They don't do this. They don't care about playing. What did Jimmy Butler do? Take the worst players on Minnesota, players that were just there to be practice players or get cut, and ran them against the starting five and said, I bet you I'll beat you with this team, and did. And then proceeded to curse everybody out and get traded the next day.
That's why Andrew Wiggins wasn't as good as Harrison Barnes at that time.
Exactly. That's why Cat wasn't as good. They were coddled. Look, for the rest of you fans who sit there and don't have a problem with the game, that pull a Jared and don't have a problem with parts of the game until it affects your team, I've been screaming this shit from day one. Just know that. People that don't have heart. I was watching the Bill Burr interview, and he said one of the greatest things that happened to him this year was his team not making the playoffs. He said because he had no dog in the race, he really just sat back and enjoyed the NFL playoffs. He said, I sat back and enjoyed the NFL playoffs because the Patriots didn't make it, so I didn't care And he said it was a much different viewing experience. And, I was fortunate enough to learn this at a young age. Like, oh, I really like sports and I want to watch it. If I get too invested in one team, too high, too low, I would go super high and low and be disappointed. And I didn't want that anymore. I ruined the baseball playoff series a year ago because I didn't want to watch it because the Dodgers got beat and I was pissed. And I was like, I'm not watching it. And I probably missed some great games. I don't want to do that anymore. So this Cutty Corner shout out goes out to James Harden for giving shoes to a paralyzed guy, especially some game worn. I don't know. I wouldn't want no funky ass shoes, right? But it's a nice gesture, I guess. So I got to say that. And this also goes out to the John Owl, the victim. May you find peace, and hopefully people will generous and thank you for being a strength and continue to show and power through life. Power through life is something that you didn't expect, but you're powering through. You're doing your thing, and I want to give him a special Cutty Corner shout out. And I will say this, but I do believe you'll get more work out of them shoes than James Harden did, other than game times. And that's it. That's the end of my Cutty Corner.
When your legs don't work like they used to before.
You cold, Jared.
That's a cold piece.
That's a cold shit, Jared.
Did you see that? Did you see that DJ at a wedding played that for a woman in a wheelchair?
That's fucked up.
Come on.
That's fucked up, man.
That's where I thought your joke was going.
No, I wasn't gonna go there, man. I wouldn't put two and two together. I said he was gonna get more work out of them shoes than James Harden.
Yeah. Times like this.
That's what you insinuate.
I'm insinuating that James Harden legs don't do no work.
Hey, Joe, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
I do, and it goes to these NBA owners that think, well, you know what? We need a change of voice. We need to fire championship coaches. It's only a few coaches out there. I understand Budenholzer made a bunch of mistakes in their series. I get it. But just like players, coaches have bad seasons. Budenholzer took Atlanta Hawks, had a 60-win Atlanta Hawks team, I believe, one year with Al Horford, Lou Williams. He was at the strip club half the time. And although they got swept by Cleveland, I didn't expect that team to make the Western Conference Finals. I mean, the Eastern Conference Finals. I didn't expect that team. They had no business beating. Who did they beat that year? They beat somebody in the playoffs, and I was like, whoa. What happened there? I can't remember who they beat, but that was
who? Atlanta?
Yeah, Atlanta. They beat.
I didn't think they beat anybody that year in the playoffs.
No, they made it to the Western Conference Final.
I guess LeBron and the Cavs.
Yeah, but the Cavs swept them.
They probably beat a young Giannis, I think.
Is that what it?
I don't think they beat anybody. Yeah,
I thought they wasn't gonna make it out the first round. I know that. I was like, this is lopsided. I thought they would, but yeah. Anyways, but he shows that he can get you through a season. He's been the best coach, regular season coach, for a minute now, for a long time. We all seen what Nick Nurse did with the hobbled Kawhi Leonard, and some of his offensive play calls out of timeouts were excellent, and some of his play calls, he just doesn't have, these guys are not skilled like Kawhi Leonard, but he did the best of what he had. Another coach that got fired was the coach of the Lakers. What's his name? It's escaping me right now. So that's the last three championship coaches have gotten fired from their teams because the teams are making bad decisions or signing bad players. So they make the coach be the fall guy. None of these new players, they do not want to be coached. They want this all-star mentality, like, hey, let me do my own thing. I'm gonna have to check out of that play because I got a good matchup, coach. Let me do my thing. Let me go out here and do my thing. Like James Brown once said. And the coaches are taking the blame for that. Championship winning coaches, underdog coaches are taking the fall for these athletes. I tell you what, athletes, why don't y'all go ahead and general managers, why don't y'all just go ahead and run your own league? No, just go coachless. We'll see what happened then. Let's see what happened then. Y'all just do that AAU thing. Let them be they Bill Russells out there being a coach player. Go ahead and do that. Just have all these things be
you know how many niggas gonna be fighting on the sideline?
hey, I'm gonna call one up for me. Keep them sorry for niggas at the end of the bench. I don't want them playing at all. I don't like them. So let's do the player empowerment. Just keep that going. See how that works.
I'm gonna tell you this, Pedro. I'm not trying to hate on Cutty Corner shout out, but just a name. They beat the Nets in the first round, and they beat a weak ass Wizard team in the second round, Budenholzer. That was when the Nets had an old ass Kevin Garnett and a weak ass Joe Johnson. Thaddeus Young was in a starting lineup, a broken down, not able to do anything, Deron Williams, and somebody named Markel Brown. They also had Jarrett Jack on their bench and Mason Plumlee. Let's go to the Wizards, who they won in the second round against, because you saying they beat somebody good. Let's name who's on this Wizard squad. A young Bradley Beal, a very young and immature John Wall, and starting at 3 for them, a very weak-ass and old-ass Paul Pierce. Ramon Sessions also started. And Nene Hilario and Gortat.
Marcin Gortat?
I don't think they beat world beaters there.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Then they got swept by LeBron in the final.
Right, they got swept. So I'll take that. I'll take that one. That's true. But they just had a good season. They coached that.
Yeah, they had a good season.
I don't think the Hawks team was that. Who was on the Hawks team? They had, like I said, they had Lemon Pepper Lou and Al Horford. I don't remember nobody else.
Oh, on that Hawks team? Let me see. Oh, God, you're right. Their leading scorer was Paul Millsap at 16 points a game.
Yeah, that's what it was. Old age. Oh, he was on his way
Horford,
down.
Millsap,
and George
Schroeder,
Teague.
George
Teague. Schroeder was on the bench, but he averaged 10 off the bench. George Teague.
Did he win 6 man that
Al Horford
year?
averaged 15. No. Damari Carroll averaged 12.
Yeah,
Kyle Korver averaged 12. They had 6 players average double figures.
So they didn't have Lemon Pepper Lou on their team.
No, they didn't have.
Okay, so it's even worse.
No, the team was worse than we thought.
It was terrible. It was
Cabo Cephalosha played in every game.
But they played well as a team, and they were tryhards.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seems like he can get you through the season, get you there. That's all I'm saying. And they just treated him like he didn't win a championship just 2 years ago. They did the same thing with the Laker coach,
who you can't name. So obviously he must have not been good.
Frank Vogel.
Frank Vogel. He can't name Frank Vogel, but he wasn't to argue for Frank Vogel, but he can't.
I can't believe they would fire that dude that just won you a chip. What's his name?
Dude, everybody who has a kid that wears a purple shirt used to run real fast. Think his name, but you know who we're talking about. My Cutty Corner shout out goes out to Florida. Or maybe not Florida, but the response. Maybe also not Texas, but Florida. There was another mass shooting in Texas, in Allen, Texas, at the outlet mall. At least 8 people did. The shooter did. AR-15 style. And in response, Broward County has said next year all students will need see-through plastic backpacks at schools from K through 12, pre-K through 12. Which is crazy because it's not like a pre-K kid bringing a gun and having a mass shooting.
Well, there was that first grader who shot his teacher this past year, so not funny actually. But I don't want to get caught up in the whirlwind of people being like, "It's just politicizing it, bro." But it's like mass shootings happening a lot. In our country as a whole, we are United States, whether or not we're sovereign states or pseudo-sovereign states. We're United States.
Look, America is just here in Africa.
We still haven't had actual tangible legislation just to say we're going to make an effort to slow down this process on a national level. Slow down this process of people having machine guns. I was talking to somebody last night about it. I said, think about it. Like if I was like, hey, man, maybe because I also live in the Bay Area, but I live in amongst certain people who have a certain community that has certain like-mindedness to me. So I'm not saying that my purview of the world or my experience should be expanded to everyone else and how they should feel or think. I'm not saying that. But I'm just thinking about if if somebody's like, hey man, do you think you can go commit a mass murder tomorrow? I'd be like, maybe I could be the person that'd be like, yeah, I think I could do that. But then I'd have to think, oh shit, where am I need a gun, or at least several guns that have a lot. I gotta go get bullets. Shit, logistically, that's a process. I barely like going to the grocery store, right? Versus, you know, maybe somebody, I don't know anybody in my community that I could be like, hey man, if you had to go commit a mass murder right now, could you do it feasibly without having to do a bunch of things? They'd be like, oh yeah, I can do that. I don't know anybody that could just be like, yeah, I can do that. I got the ammo, I got the guns, I got the artillery. You know what I'm saying? If I really just lost it, I could just go do that. I don't know somebody necessarily. Maybe somebody knows me that they can tell me and remind me. Maybe they went to Berkeley High. I don't know. But it's just so interesting to see the different experiences in the world. And I'm not saying that my way is right to not, you know, be necessarily like an avid gun owner or like, you know, somebody that, you know, has the weaponry around. I don't need it necessarily. Versus somebody who might need it for different things. But I do think that just common sense would say, having military-style guns with extra magazines that can shred people's bodies apart in a civilian setting, accessible. There just needs to be something done. And governing children's backpacks in a county, making them bring see-through backpacks. It's for other weapons too, not just guns. But like those type of token, you know, reactionary things that these places are doing is not solving the root of the problem. It's just reactions to the problem continuing to express itself in ways that is like terrible for our society, or for people and families and life. So for me, it's just like, hey, legislator, Congress, senators, sit down and like hammer out something that can make it to where we can potentially slow down this happening. Yes, if people want to get drugs, they're going to get drugs. If people want to get guns, they're going to get guns. But if in certain places, it's so easy to do it, and you can show up at an outlet mall and shoot people, or you can show up at a Piggly Wiggly and just shoot up people. You can show up wherever you are and just shoot people, and you have enough to take out dozens of people, injuring dozens of people also, killing police officers, being able to take out the people that are coming to try and hopefully stop you. Like, that seems like a gross excess that we're allowing people to have to some degree. To some degree. You got to make some laws that are going to make a little bit more of an inhibition to express that right. The same way you got to get a license to drive, we got to do something better. That's all I'm saying. And pre-K backpacks being clear. Another problem is, you know how many of the backpacks are going to tear? That plastic is not durable. In a hot, humid, you in Florida, you know how humid, those things don't breathe. You know how much condensation and nasty mold's going to be growing in your backpacks that people going to see like, shit, you got mold and must growing in your back. Man, it's going to be embarrassment left and right. And the ones they showed on this new clip were little tiny backpacks that people bring to concerts and shit. Game, yeah. I'm like, what is that? You can't carry no books in that. And these are our observations.
You get angry later. No, and I understand. Look. Even when the Lakers had their window, I was a Laker fan. I wanted them to win it, but that was like I told you. I've never been able to sit there and watch a game and root for my team. And I've never been able to turn off what is the real reality, right? And be a fan. I hate to say it. The closest I get, I think, is probably the Dodgers, but baseball is so black and white, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, there's not many things. I mean,
it's not very black anymore, but it is definitely very white.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. The rules are black and white. That's the only place you get the black players now. You get the blackness is in the rules, right? And so I can't sit there. That's the only place. Well, football, I've always been that guy to call it how it is, right? If it's a hold, it's a hold. If it's a fucking PI, it's a PI. Even it's my team. Lakers, even basketball, I've always been that same way. I haven't been able to jump in and be a fan. That's why I struggle sometimes around super fans.
Well, can you tell me
watching games?
I
didn't watch this last game, so I can't tell you.
Austin Reeves, the way he handles the ball.
I didn't watch 1 minute of the last game.
But he's been doing it all season. But Austin Reeves, when he handles the ball,
he knows how to draw a foul.
What does he do every time somebody touches him?
He knows how to draw a foul.
It looks like he has back spasms the way he.
Can I tell you this, Jerry? I don't see much difference between him and James Harden.
No,
right? I don't see much difference between what Joel Embiid this year. Joel Embiid shot 14 free throws a game this year. 14 free there. He led the league in scoring because he shot average over 14 free throws attempted a game. And let me tell you, he was flopping a lot. He was doing this. And did I not complain about that?
I'll believe you. I'll believe you.
I'm not saying, look, Austin Reeves does the same thing. But he's not the only one, Jared. So, I mean, like
he's the only one that's pissing me off going against the Warriors.
Because he's going against the Warriors. But, I mean, the truth is, this is what the fucking game is. Like, when I was sitting there watching that game, whatever game that was Thursday at Rallies, one thing I'm just telling people, like, man, this is what the NBA is now, right? When Warrior fans are complaining about the Warriors call or that call, this is what the NBA is.
Team that actually the Warriors don't really play that style of ball. They don't play that.
No, they don't. But they were complaining.
The closest person that tries to do it is Draymond, and he kicks people in the nuts.
Well, and Jordan Poole tries to do it sometimes. He'll flop.
Kind of no, but he's out of control. They don't.
He's out of control. He'll flop.
He's already out of control. So like
he'll flop on a three. But someone was like, "Hey man, I can't believe that." I was like, "This is what the NBA is now. Like you can't be surprised if you haven't bitched about it." This is my argument. I'm not telling you not to bitch about it, Jared, but this is, you're on a soapbox and I just play the world's smallest, saddest violin for you. Because if you haven't bitched about it, this is my complaint. I've been bitching about this shit for years. And I've really been bitching this year.
Now you have a new ally.
No, I don't have a new ally. I want the allies that's going to be standing next to me when we're watching when I'm sitting there and I'm watching Orlando versus fucking San Antonio in November saying the same shit. When I'm watching fucking Clippers versus goddamn, I can't even think of a Charlotte on a fucking December. Tuesday in December or Wednesday in December. I want you as an ally then, not because your team and you feeling like they ain't getting the calls. I want the ally that's what I'm saying. Don't try to make the stand now, right? If you was watching every game and bitching like I was, then yes.
So what you trying to tell me, Aaron, is that
somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have and they did it for you.
Is that what you tell me, Aaron? You
exactly.
You've been fighting for
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Pedro, what's your take on the refereeing and the dynamics?
Be quiet in there. Yeah. The referees